Hello friends and welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about NCT Dream's Candy album. But first, I had a thought. So, for context, last night I went to see Moulin Rouge, okay? It's showing here. I really wanted to see it. I really loved the movie, so I was like, the show's coming here. I should go see it. I went with my mom so she would pay. And me and my mom went to see it. It was phenomenal if you were wondering. But I had a thought while I was watching it. Haechan would eat as Ziedler. Like, him in that role, he would be thriving, he would be ending the girlies, he would be serving and slaying. Maybe this is just like a me thought, but I then subsequently cast the other Dream members in like the main 7 roles, and it was really fun. But my thesis statement, let's say, is that Haechan, Ziedler, it should happen. I say this like SM would ever let him be like in a role like that, let's say. Like, I don't know if he would do it or not because I don't know that man, but like, I do think he would eat in that role. However, I also know SM wouldn't let him do it. Speaking of SM though, can I just say, I was talking to the bestie about this the other day, and I was like, it's so interesting to me that SM is just now realizing that they can re-release all their really old hits with their currently popular artists and get like the double money because they'll get the nostalgia stands who are like, oh, like the old hot stands probably listen to the Dream remake of Candy. The Dream stands listen to the Dream remake of Candy. Like, I don't know why it took them so long, but capitalism has struck again. Anyway, just to go over how things are going to work, I'm going to run through the track list, give you my thoughts on each song, and then give the album score out of 10 at the end. However, I do have some disclaimers before we get started. Disclaimer number 1. With the exception of Candy, which is complicated, I've heard this album once so far, so my opinions on these songs very much may change over time. Second disclaimer, my standard one, everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion. Music is subjective, and that is great. Okay, cool. Let's get started. First up, we have the title track, the titular song, Candy. Now, I want to stress, I've heard this chorus easily like 3,000 times. Only I've heard the original version 3,000 times because I would always watch those videos where it was like old K-pop songs that could be a hit now, and Candy was always on there for some reason. Like, people clung to that song with like the sharpest of claws, so like that song was always in there. So I've heard this chorus easily like hundreds on hundreds of times at this point in my life. Plus, like, it's just a classic song, so like there's that too. Let's discuss though. I don't have a ton to say. This is gonna be quick, but the chorus, a classic. Like, it's a classic for a reason. It's bright, it's poppy, it's fun, it's cute, it's great. I loved it. The verse is quite solid. As a whole, I would personally say that I enjoyed this more than the original just because, potential controversial opinion, I have always hated the way that the hot members' voices sounded in this song. It's not that they can't sing, because, like, I'm very sure that they can. It's more just, it's the way the audio engineer on this song mixed their voices. Like, it just, I've never been a fan of it. It's the same thing with SES's Dreams Come True. Like, I love the aespa version, but they sound just not my style, let's say, in the original, like the SES members. So, like, I never really listened to that song, but I love the aespa version. We're getting off track. My point is, I really liked this song. I thought it was great. Up next, we have Graduation, and I'm slightly obsessed with this song. Like, my one complaint, the only thing I would change about it, it didn't need a rap. Like, the raps in the song really threw me. I thought we were going to get a very vocal forward song, and I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the raps because, say it with me, if you've watched my channel, you know what I'm about to say. Not every song needs a rap. This is the hill I'm going to die on. Like, I want it on my grave. Not every song needs a rap because not every song needs a rap. Raps aside, the vocals in this song are absolutely stunning. Like, from Renjun at the start to Haechan in the bridge, I was losing my mind to these vocals. They sounded so good. Like, I know it's not like a controversial opinion to say that Dream has really good vocals, but they sound extra good here, and they already sound amazing on average. So just, you know, it was slaying. As for the rest of the song, the first verse, very good. Pre-chorus, really liked it. The bridge is beautiful too. And the chorus, I love this chorus to an irrational extent. Like, to an unhealthy degree was I into this chorus. It is frankly too good to be allowed. As a whole, this was very good. Like, an excellent song. I would say it's my favorite if not for the raps. Like, It probably still is my favorite, but it's not quite at the level where I'm willing to call it my favorite, if you know what I mean. Speaking of favorites, next we have Tangerine Love parentheses favorite. This was not my favorite song. I don't want you to get confused. That's just in the title. But either way, this song, it was pretty good. I was feeling the verses. However, the pre-chorus did annoy me a bit, and the chorus isn't their best, so I wasn't the biggest fan of this song. And I don't have a ton to say beyond that, so we're just going to keep moving. Up next is Take My Breath, and I was into it. I will concede. This song, I was not expecting it to be so rap heavy. Like, it's just, for example, right? Channel comes in for the bridge. I was like, oh, are we getting a vocal bridge? No, more raps. All the verses are raps. Pretty much the only vocal parts are like occasionally here and there, and then the pre-chorus and the chorus. That's about it. Although I did really enjoy the chorus. It's just very rap heavy. Definitely could have been a deal breaker, but none of the raps here are that bad, so like, I'll survive. I will say, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to rant for a second about something I've noticed with Dream raps, which is specifically for Dream, although other groups do this too, where like, they'll try and fit every single member into the rap verse, which normally makes sense, because normally you have one verse that's the rap verse, so you have to fit all your rappers in there. This song, all the verses were raps, and the bridge was rap. So, like, they didn't have to cram every member into the same verse, because what that means, at least from what I've noticed, is that they'll have very, very short, almost disjointed raps that can sometimes go very wrong. It didn't here, but it can go quite wrong. And I think this is a song where they could have done what they did with Dear Dream, where they just split it, right? Like, 2 members get the first verse, 2 members get the second verse. That way you get longer raps. I think it could have been better. That's just my suggestion. Anyway, next we have Moon, and right off the bat, I'm weak for the piano. We know this about me. I'm weak for a piano moment. I was weak for this piano moment. It was great. I really liked it. As for the rest of the song, it's also great. I really liked it. I will admit, it's a ballad, and that can probably be a turnoff to some people, because all ballads at some point just kind of sound the same, and this is not the best ballad I've ever heard, not by a long shot, but as we established in the We I video, I love Christmas. I love Christmas songs, and I love Dream. So this is a Christmassy Dream song. It's all I could want. Also, the vocals? Incredible. Like, we've already established in this very video that Dream has slay vocals. We know this. However, they sounded extra slay here, especially Jisung. Jisung in the first verse, when he came in, I gasped. Like, he sounded so good there. Also, it's getting extra credit because it didn't try and force a rap in. I know, I'm very shocked too. Whenever I hear ballads from groups that are very rap heavy or like have a lot of rappers, I just have an endless terror that they're gonna try and force a rap in there. Dream didn't. I'm very happy about it. My one edit with this song, the one thing I would change, this is gonna sound really mean, but hear me out. We didn't need Mark, Jeno, and Jaemin in the song. If you're wondering about Jisung, I think Jisung is an underrated vocal. I think he is underrated and underutilized because, like, his voice adds variety because it's a lot deeper than the others. So, like, Jisung can stay, but the rest of them, we didn't need them here. I am always a proponent of smaller unit songs within the bigger group. I think this could have been a 4-member song. I think it could have been a moment. Last but not least, we have Walk With You. And firstly, I must discuss the background music because it was very good. I really liked it. Also, the chorus, very fun, very poppy, very bright, very much here for it. The verses are really good too. Jisung in particular in the second verse, absolutely a moment. He was slaying, I'm gonna say it. Jisung had his moment in the second verse. I will give it to him. He sounded very good there. But also, I really like the bridge. So just as a whole, I was very much a fan of this song. I don't really have anything to say beyond that. It's a great song and a very good closer. Score time. Overall, I'm giving this album a 9.2 out of 10. For starters, I liked most of the songs on this album. It has been a hot minute since I could say that about a Dream album. Also, I didn't think any of the songs were bad on this album. That is also something I haven't been able to say in a hot minute for a Dream album. Both of these things, definite progress. Also, I feel like in this album in particular, Jisung was actually being utilized to his fullest potential. I feel like we got an uptick in the Jisung usage. And as someone who thinks Jisung is heavily underutilized both as a vocal and a rapper, I was very pleased to see it, so it got extra credit for that. So yeah, 9.2 out of 10. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your own thoughts on this album down below. Let me know what your favorite song is. You can also like and subscribe if you want to, or don't. I will be okay either way. Also, if you want to hear more from me, you can follow me on Twitter at @_album reviews. I will link that in the description, along with any other NCT review that I have done. And I don't know if I'd call it my magnum opus, but it's definitely a moment, which is my history of NCT. It will be down there as well. You can check all that out if you so choose. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!